So animal activists are engaging in an ongoing fight against the use of animals to test cosmetic products. Now Hollywood filmmakers have joined forces with Humane Society International to produce a powerful animated short film titled #Save Ralf to protest at cosmetic testing on animals. In fact, this 4-minute film is based on Ralf, we're told, a tester rabbit. For an idea of what this looks like, I hope we've got the video. Take a look at some of those headlines.
Alrighty, so my name's Ralph. I'm a rabbit, as you can see. I'm blind in my right eye, and this ear. Can't hear nothing but ringing now. I'm a tester. My daddy was a tester, my mum, my brothers, my sisters, my kids, all testers, and they all died doing their job. Now I know it looks bad, but the way I see it, I'm doing my job. If just one human can have the illusion of a safer lipstick or deodorant or...
Hey, Ralphie! Psst. Ralphie! What's with the camera crew, bro?
Oh, they're just following me around, making a documentary or something.
Can you ask them to get us out of here?
Yeah, what will we see?
Come on, Ralphie, just ask them to get us out of here. I don't want to die, man.
Okay,
Ralphie!
Okay, I hear you. You can edit that out, right? Oh, here we go.
Hey, don't touch him!
Shit!
Sure. I wasn't quite sure whether to laugh or cry there. So, although banned in 40 countries, the practice is still legal in South Africa, subjecting thousands of animals to unnecessary suffering and death. For more on this now, let's bring in the Africa campaign manager for Humane Society International, Joseph Mayson, who joins us now via video link from Cape Town. Joseph, great to have you with us. Thanks so much for making time. There's so much to take even just from that moment we've shown, but perhaps let's start with the backdrop. Humane Society International, who are you, what do you do, and who do you represent?
So we're the largest animal welfare organization in the world. We're part of the Humane Society family, which originated in the US, but is now spread to all over the world. So we represent animals' interests on a variety of different issues. In South Africa, we mostly focus on farm animals, wildlife, and animals used in testing. So, that's our main issue. But yeah, at the moment we're focusing a lot of our efforts on the Save Ralf campaign. And yeah, thanks so much for showing a few of the clips from the video. It's really meaningful that you guys have paid attention to this important issue.
Sure, and we'll talk about the campaign in a bit more detail. Before then, perhaps paint the landscape for us in South Africa insofar as animal rights activism is concerned. I mean, it's an issue, dare I say, that's still scoffed at in certain sectors of our society. And I wonder, from your reading, why you think it's not finding resonance among those people.
Well, I mean, you say that, but we actually conducted a poll last month with an independent company doing the actual polling. And we found that more than 75% of people actually think that animal rights or animal welfare issues are an important issue, and that the government needs to do more to protect animals in our country. We also found that 90% of people support our ban our proposed ban on cosmetics, using animals in cosmetics testing. So. I think there is a perception that South Africans don't care about animals, but the data shows that that's actually not the case, and we're quite enthused by that, and we want to take that further.
Well, the question then becomes, how does this compare to some of our peers in other countries?
Yeah, I think first of all, the implementation on the ground needs to be improved in South Africa. We need to get politicians behind and make politicians aware that people actually do care about animals in this country. I think that's where other countries have done better. Their politicians are much more responsive to that angle. But I can't really speak too much on that. I'm a South African, so. But I think it's a growing movement in South Africa, and we'll see it grow from strength to strength.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I completely understand. Perhaps you might be scant on the details, but just broadly speaking, is the perception, at least from your standpoint, that the sentiment on the ground simply is not translating in policy, and that's what necessitates something like the Save Ralf campaign.
Yes, yeah. And that's why awareness raising is so important, and getting petition signatures, and getting people to support us in tangible ways. So I mean, for instance, for Save Ralf, one of our main goals is to get people to watch the movie, to understand what it's like to be a bunny as in these testing arenas for cosmetics, to understand that it's completely unnecessary, for us to test cosmetics on animals, because there are so many alternatives, and 40 countries have banned the practice around the world, including the European Union, and their cosmetics markets are thriving. And then get people to sign our petition at hsi.org/Ralf.
How implementable would a ban be in a country like ours? I mean, I assume you have a better sense of the sector than I do. Does it operate in ways such that a ban would be something that be easily monitorable?
Definitely. So currently there isn't a legislated, regulatory scheme, that's where people have to, get certification. But there are a number of soft law, pieces where people are able to certify their products. We're working with corporates. We've got a bunch of the main players such as Unilever, P&G, Avon, Lush, L'Oreal, all on our side, all supporting our ban, because they believe in the message, but also they believe it's implementable. And we would look to have a similar sort of regulatory scheme as the EU, where you have to show data. You have to show that you've used alternative methods of testing to show the safety of your product. And we believe that's entirely implementable.
Yeah. I don't want to take it for granted that everyone knows what testing on animals actually entails. In as digestible a way as possible, dare I say, are you able to paint that picture for us?
Sure. I mean, it is quite harrowing, and I think that the Save Ralf film does a good job of showing people the truth without being too gory or intense. But some of the methods include flooding the eye with chemicals, and rabbits, for instance, can't. They don't have tear ducts, and so the chemicals sit, on the eye and just corrode the eye, and they will often be blinded by that. There's intentional poisoning of animals. There's something called the LD50 test, which is where they poison, they pump the animals with the chemical that they're testing, until 50% of the animals are in the test are dead, and then they find that's the LD50 level of toxicity for the chemical. And all of these tests are completely outdated. They're from the 50s, and we've got better methods that are more accurate and often cheaper than the animal tests. And we just need to move away from this practice. It's completely unnecessary and incredibly cruel.
Yeah, it might sound like an obvious question, but I have to ask: who stands to benefit from animal testing? Because that's going to give us an idea about why South Africa hasn't gone ahead with this ban, when the evidence suggests that we probably should.
So I think there's a little bit of a stopping point with industry, just education, and existing infrastructures, testing infrastructures. But the thing is that, I mean, that's why we have so much of industry on our side, is that they don't, in the end, don't actually benefit from it, because it's cheaper and more accurate to use alternative methods of testing. And that's why we've seen, I mean, this movement has, if comparatively, it's really, moving quite quickly. So the European Union, that was the first ban of this kind in the world, and that happened in 2013. Well, the first major ban of this kind. There were other smaller bans around the world, but the first major ban that was implemented in 2013, and now we've got 40 countries around the world that have implemented the ban. So, we feel like it's got quite a, it's got legs, and we see with the polling data that we found and the amount of public support and the industry support, once we start engaging with politicians in South Africa, we hope that we're going to bring it over the line very quickly.
Yeah, very quickly. It's a 4-minute film. Where do people watch it? How do they support the movement?
So if you go to hsi.org/Ralf, that's RALPH, then you can watch the film and get more information. And please sign our petition to end animal testing, cosmetic animal testing in South Africa. We really believe that there's no reason why we should be supporting this practice anymore, and everybody can really get behind it.
All right, Joseph Mayson, all the best to you. Thank you very much for your time. Really appreciate your sharing with us what you can. He is part of Humane Society International, in fact, the Africa campaign manager for that organization, as, of course, they try to build momentum for animal welfare to try to prevent people from testing cosmetics on these animals. Joseph, once again, thanks very much indeed.